Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And Tiffany from Melrose Park said she was the one that recommended Spinal Tap to Case way back in the day before we even knew there was a Spinal Tap 2 coming out this weekend. So thank you for checking in from Melrose Park. And it is time. It's Friday, and it's time for Case's movie review.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies. Fry, fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Well, here we go. It is Spinal Tap, or I should say, this is Spinal Tap, Case's movie review for today, in honor of Spinal Tap 2 being out. It was released March 2nd, 1984, so 40 years. Unreal. The budget was $2 million. The box office was $5.8 million, so nothing, lighten it up. However, it is a cult classic, especially in our world of music. Every band I've interviewed has mentioned Spinal Tap somewhere along the way here at Q101. So this is Spinal Tap is widely regarded as one of the best films of 1984. The film holds a 98% rating on the review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes based on 174 reviews with an average rating of 8.8 out of 10. That's one of the highest I've seen for a movie review.
Yeah, we're basically talking about like The Departed and Shawshank and Pulp Fiction and also now Spinal Tap.
In 2002, This is Spinal Tap was deemed culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant by the Library of Congress and was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. And just a reminder, next week, this is the one that's gotten the most requests of all time since Case started this nearly 2 years ago doing movie reviews. As a 26-year-old who hadn't seen a lot of movies, he's finally going to see Goodfellas.
35th anniversary next week, 35th anniversary to the day of the review. We're going to kick off Riot Fest weekend with a Goodfellas review.
So let's start like we always do as Case reviews Spinal Tap with the trailer and how Spinal Tap was advertised 40 years ago.
Let's talk about your reviews a little bit.
Meryl Schindler of Los Angeles Magazine says This is Spinal Tap is the funniest rock movie ever made.
No, you can't print that.
You don't find that offensive?
No,
you don't find that sexist?
Playboy calls it a refreshing, hilarious rockumentary that sends up what the Beatles started with A Hard Day's Night.
So that's nitpicking, isn't it?
This is Spinal Tap, the band, the movie, the motion picture, rated R.
Well, I'm glad Playboy got a review in there. What did you think of Spinal Tap? This is Spinal Tap.
Well, it's so funny because I had never seen this movie before, but I think just being around you two, I felt like I had a heightened sense of awareness for this. Sometimes I go into a movie completely blind, like even Almost Famous last week. I didn't know anything about that movie going into it, but I feel like I'm bombarded with Spinal Tap quotes every single day. And so watching this movie was like putting together a puzzle where it's like, oh, that's where that comes from. Oh, that's where that comes from. And all in all, it's a horrifying movie in the sense that it hits so close to home just being around bands and the way that we are at this job. But it is such a funny movie. It holds up 41 years later.
Well, good. I'm glad you had that opinion. It's kind of hard to tear this thing apart. It's just more about the lines that are in the movie that repeat, like these go to 11. You've heard that probably your whole life and didn't really understand where that came from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got that audio in there because that is just as funny as anything is. That's just absolutely outstanding stuff.
Yeah, and I'll play that audio because Kenzie, as someone, I play guitar, and I saw this movie when I was learning how to, very young age, playing guitar, and every guitarist made the joke, but it's amazing that it transcended outside of musicians, the scene when Nigel Tufnell is showing his amp to Rob Reiner's character and why they can go louder than tenor, how they perform.
This is a top to what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder. It's not 10. You see, most blokes are going to be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Oh my God!
The louder. Is that, see?
Specifically, it's one louder. There's no unit of measurement. It's just one louder.
One louder.
and to help quantify it, I don't want to take your words out of your mouth, Case,
please go ahead.
but because, Nigel Tufnell, Christopher Guest, is American, the way he not only just did the English accent was, most blokes are playing at 10, and we can go to 11. He says that in that line there. It's just ridiculously accurate.
Is he American?
Christopher Guest is American.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought they were all British guys.
No, they're not. No, Christopher Guest was born in New York. He's New York. They're all Americans.
They're all Americans?
Yeah, they're all I don't want to say
Americans.
They're all Americans.
they're patriots?
Well, I mean, because Michael McKean was on Laverne and Shirley. That's how he started his career as not Squiggy, but what was it?
I can't help you with your Laverne and Shirley trivia. Sorry, I don't know.
Lenny and Squiggy. He was Lenny.
Okay.
And then Derek Derek Smalls, Harry Shearer, does almost all the voices on The Simpsons.
Oh.
He does Principal Skinner. He does.
Well, Principal Skinner's not British. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're American.
I thought they were British guys.
You didn't know that?
Justice for all the British people who didn't get casted.
Yeah, that's
Fake.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Cultural appropriation on the British.
I had no idea. I assumed they were all British guys.
No,
almost like because Star Wars, a lot of their casting was done was just like, hey, who are the British actors we could find? I just assumed these were like Star Wars rejects.
No.
Oh.
Does that make it even bigger that they're talking so English, and not only just in the English accent, but how these blokes are playing at the hotel? We can go to 11.
I mean, it's cool. They're good actors.
They're incredible.
It's incredible. Wow. Okay, that changes everything. I had no idea.
Oh, good.
It's such a fun movie to watch with 2025 eyes because it has the same sensation watching this movie that if you're just on TikTok for a really long time, it sort of scratches the same itch in your brain because the scenes are not very long. They're all about 2-minute sketch comedy scenes and then interspliced with the worst music you've ever heard that the band themselves are playing. But along the way, you get these really funny runners, these reoccurring jokes, like about how they can't find a permanent drummer because the last drummer they had spontaneously combusted. And that, to me, that might have made me laugh harder than anything else in the movie.
It's so good.
Now, during the Flower People period, who was your drummer?
Stumpy's replacement, Peter James Bond, he also died in mysterious circumstances. We were playing a
festival,
jazz blues festival. Where was that?
Well, blues jazz, really.
Blues jazz festival.
It was in the
Isle of Lucy. The
Yeah.
Isle of Lucy.
Isle of
Jazz
Lucy.
Blues Festival.
And it was tragic, really. He exploded on stage.
He just went up.
He just was like a flash of green light, and that was it. Nothing was left. It was
his face.
Well, there was.
It's true. This
true.
really did
There was a
happen.
little green globule on his drum seat.
Like a stain, really.
It was more of a stain than a globule, actually. And
dozens of people spontaneously combust each year. It's just not really widely reported.
I really have a theory that Russell Brand saw this movie at a young age and based his entire personality around
he was
it.
like, I'm going to do this, but for real.
Yeah, I'm going to do this for real. And guess what? It worked. He got to be famous.
Complicated legacy. Tough one.
Yeah, but it's still famous nonetheless.
The whole drummer thing when it comes from, Led Zeppelin's drummer died young and The Who's drummer died. So they took pieces of real band history and then turned it into how ridiculous. They have like 7 drummers that died in different ways. One of them in there, they talk about he choked on vomit, but they weren't sure it was his vomit. They said because you can't dust for vomit. I used to say that line all the time. My buddies say, you can't dust for vomit. You can't do that.
That's the fun thing is just, when you're like us and you're just obsessed with music in every way, shape, and form, you start to pick up on some of the references. And the scene where they sit down with the documentarian and he's reading the critics' reviews of the band is another thing that just hit really close to home. I found that scene to be so funny.
Let's talk about your reviews a little bit. The Gospel According to Spinal Tap. This pretentious, ponderous collection of religious rock psalms is enough to prompt the question, what day did the Lord create Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too?
Never heard that one. Good one. That's a good one.
The review you had on Shark Sandwich, which was merely a 2-word review, just said sandwich.
Where'd they print that? Where'd they print that? That's not real, is it? You can't print that.
Oh, that's so good.
So all in all with Spinal Tap, you know, it's a movie that does not in any way, shape, or form represent the current music landscape, at least the alt-rock landscape. I mean, I was telling a story to Brian and Kenzie a minute ago about how, I won't say what band, but we had a band in the lounge not that long ago, and I was hosting the lounge, and I was talking to them beforehand and doing what is known as a pre-interview, where it's like, hey, you know, I'm going to hit on this. Do you guys have a story about this? I'd like to talk about this. And we go through our pleasantries. We do this whole thing. And before I leave the green room, I go, hey, is there anything I can get you guys? You know, we're so happy you're here, but is there anything you guys need? And all of a sudden, I get all these puppy dog eyes from the whole band, and they go, well, we haven't had any food today. It would be great if you could get us some granola bars. And it's like, that's just because all the money has left the music industry. So we go from the excess of Spinal Tap to, hey, we're at Q101. We've made it to the big time. Can you get us some granola bars, please?
I just like that they asked for food, that they came off a deserted island just a minute ago.
It was really sad. They're like, no, we haven't had any food. We'd love something. And it's not Cristal. You know, I wasn't getting them caviar. They just wanted a Nutri-Grain bar that I could get from downstairs. So that is where things are at. But even with all the changes in the music industry landscape, this is a movie where the humor of it holds up. The fact that they're not British is crazy. I'm going to be thinking about that all day long.
I thought you knew that.
No, I don't know. These actors mean nothing to me. I didn't know who they were.
They're all actors that you've seen do a lot of things. Like they did all these kind of mockumentaries afterward. The Best in Show, the dog.
I haven't seen that.
Another great movie.
Oh.
I know, Kenzie, you'd love that one too, just because if you love The Office, this whole thing is really just over sarcasm to death. And
I love that.
That's really what it is, except in the rock world. Like the whole Hello Cleveland thing came from Spinal Tap when they're lost backstage. You guys are authorized, aren't you? Well, you go through that door, take a right. It all came from that, a band saying Hello Cleveland on stage. And every band I had ever interviewed said, you know, Spinal Tap wasn't actually funny to us because it was too real.
Oh, that is so funny in and of itself. Well,
it's like PTSD. It's like how chefs can't watch The Bear.
Yes. It's exactly the same thing.
So all in all, look, I think we have to just do a very simple rating on this movie. I think we have to rate it out of 11. And,
I love it.
You know, because
I like that.
Because
That's
it's one
cute.
more, you see. Because
it's one more.
You know, a lot of my reviews, they go to 10.
Right.
But this one's one more, so
yes.
it goes to 11. And this, you know, it's not exactly Shawshank in the drama of it. I do feel like I have, in a very blanket statement, seen funnier movies in history. But if you haven't seen this, I deem this essential viewing and a very friendly 8 out of 11 for This Is Spinal Tap. Such a fun movie that I highly recommend going back and watching if you've never seen it before.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.